Hello, everybody. Welcome to our program today. I'd like to thank you guys for joining us. Like you always do, we always thank you for your support. Make sure that if you have not subscribed to our channel, that you go ahead and subscribe. Click on the notification bell and leave us a comment. Okay. Today is one of those special programs where we are zooming in. You guys know I've been on a journey to go back to my roots and understand my people better and try to help with whatever is not working out well. Try to inspire, try to promote what they are doing. And today, in line with that mission, we have gone to bring somebody who has really he's an inspiration in our community, in his community, in Igbo land, in Nigeria, and in Africa. You know, and you will get to find out as we get along in our interview with him. For if you've traveled the roads in Nigeria, if you've traveled anywhere in Nigeria, you must have come across this person and his company. I'm talking about the founder of Peace Mass Transit Company and so many other companies as we're able to find out today. But I'm talking about no other person than Chief Dr. MADUKA ONYISHI. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for being our guest in the program today.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
My
yeah.
pleasure.
Sir, I know we've taken a lot just for the benefit of the people that are watching now. He's been with us like for so many hours. We just finished an Igbo language interview, and now we're doing the English version so that he can reach out to so many people who he has influence over by the virtue of the business that he does. Chief, I really like to welcome you to our program today. Let us start by um, understanding you more. Tell us where you are from and tell us, just let us go a little bit to your background. Where are you from, sir?
My name is Samuel Maduka Onyishi, Chairman, Peace Mass Transit Limited. I am from Nsukka Town in Enugu State, Nigeria. And I am into business. I am popularly known as a transporter, the owner of PMT, to the glory of God.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. That is a very humble introduction, but I don't want to go any further. I'll just leave it there. Sir, how did you start? It's important that we understand how you got, or did you just wake up one day and you just started PMT, Peace Mass Transit, or were there some obstacles? We would like to find out a little bit about how you started. You can summarize it, but take us quickly through how you started in life as regards business.
Well, necessity, they say, is a mother of invention. My father died in my first year in secondary school, and I am the first out of 7 children. So it was not easy for my mother to take care of myself and my siblings. So it was difficult to finish my secondary school education. Then, and after my secondary education, I left education and I went into a business so that my younger ones could also get up to secondary school level. And my initial motivation was to support my mother, take care of the family, to raise my siblings. So I was working not really because I wanted to work or because I knew what I was doing, but because I just wanted to get some financial, able to render some financial support to my family. as the first child of the family, who suddenly became a husband to my mother, father to my younger ones at the age of 12, 13. And by God's grace, I was able to, I was a bus conductor. I was a second-hand clothes dealer. I was a bus driver. I sold new clothes. And later, I was able to save some money. I started business with 1,200 naira, given to me by my mother anyway. And that money was paid to my family by the University of Nigeria and Soka because for our cash crops in 1985. So we are the owners of the university land. So my village received some money from the university, and my family got 1,500. And my mother trusted me so much, so she gave me the 1,500. That was what I used to go into business, because then I was a laborer in a construction company at Ikara in Kaduna State.
Wow.
Before that money was paid. Yeah, before that money was paid. So when that money was paid, my mother gave the money to me. And to the glory of God, I did not mess around with it. I used it to start business. And today, here I am. So from second-hand clothes to shoes to motor spare parts. In 1989, I was able to save up to 12,000 naira, which I used to go into motor spare parts. And then in 1993, I saved up to 260,000, which I now use to start Peace Mass Transit. 260,000. Then, as a student, also, because I had come back to the University of Nigeria and to do my degree throughout my stay in the University of Nigeria from my academic work. And I stopped driving in my third year. I finished in 1999, and then I concentrated in transport. And what you know today as Peace Mass Transit was started with 2 buses in 1994. And today, by God's grace, we have over 4,000 to 5,000 staff, direct employees, and we're still counting, by God's grace.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
I never said I wanted to be a business person or be a transporter, but just one thing led to another and another led to another. So I grew from a very low, I had a very low profile, I can say, but man proposes, and God does his thing. So what I am today is not because I planned to be what I am. In fact, I started answering transporter when I had over almost 500 buses, because it never occurred to me that I have actually become a transporter. I was still seeing myself as a spare parts dealer, because the plan was to go back to Kano to run my spare parts business after graduation. But by the time I was graduating, what I had in Soka was already more than what I had in Kano. So I went back to Kano in 1999 and used everything I had to settle my boys, because I had boys, apprentices that were with me then. So I used what I had to settle them and left my house. So I didn't leave Kano with a pin, because I gave out everything I had, my 2 shops, my house, my everything. I left everything. I just settled my boys. And I came back to Nsukka and concentrated on transport,
Wow.
because those boys were good. While I was in school, they were good. They were doing well. Each time I went to Kano, I would pick money from savings they made, and then join the one I made from transporting in Nsukka. And I'll use the money to buy another bus. That was why the business grew fast, at that initial stage, because I was combining everything I made from transport and from my spare parts shop. So I was reinvesting everything. And
Wow.
God was so faithful, because I didn't see there were no major accidents, and because that time, what kills transport is road crash. There were no major road crashes. So we survived, and God has been faithful to date.
Wow. That is so awesome. A lot of people know that your when they see the title Onwan Suka, I want to explain to them Online soccer, because a lot of people just and that is there is like a I don't know how to describe it, but people seem to have bastardized the tradition of title giving in where we come from, in Africa in general, but especially where we come from. People just get up and give themselves a name, but there is still some, yes. Like all they have to do is buy a red cap. Like my my own title was conferred by my community and the king in my community, but the Onwa Nsoka, that is your name, means the moon that shines over the whole Nsoka community. And like you had explained to us in the past interview, it was not just one of the traditional rulers, but all of them came together to install you this title of Onwa Nsoka, which is the moon that shines over the whole of Nsoka land. But help us understand how big Nsoka is and the different different districts, or how do you describe it? The communities that make up Nsoka, so that people will
Yeah, yeah.
understand why you answer
Okay.
that name.
Well, Nsukka is like we have a Nsukka Cultural Zone, which is made up of 7 local governments. That is the largest Nsukka. Then we have Nsukka Senatorial District, which is today called Enugu North Senatorial District. That's the political Nsukka grouping. Then we have Nsukka local government, where I come from, which is made up of so many autonomous communities and town unions and towns. And then we have Nsukka town, which happens to be the capital of Nsukka local government of Enugu. It's made up of 9 autonomous communities, because the government decided to create more autonomous communities so that governance can reach the grassroots. I believe that is the reason for the autonomous communities, and I think it is also helping. So we have 9 traditional rulers in Nsukka town, where I come from. And I'm from Ihe, Nsukka, Ihe autonomous community in Nsukka town. And I'm owner of Nsukka town.
So why did they
The glory of God.
so why did they give you? I know that from our previous discussion, I know a lot of things that you have done, but for the benefit of people, I like to hear it from the person himself. Why, in your opinion, do you think they gave you that title? Because it's not a small title for the whole, not just one area. Because if it was like the owner of Ihe, it would say, okay, your community. But for all of them, for all the traditional rulers, for all the communities to come together to say, you are given this title, what, in your opinion, why, in your opinion, did they give you this title? What are some of the things that you think you may have done that inspired them to give you that title?
Well, generally, I can tell you that I think they see me as a philanthropist. I have started businesses for a lot of people that didn't even pass through me. I have trained a lot of people in schools, secondary school, university, local and international. I've sent people to China on scholarship and other places. And I have done different things for different people. I built hostels in schools. I built hospital. I've done a lot for my community. But for Nsukka town, as a people, it's difficult for me to tell you what I have been doing or what I have done. But the much I will tell you that they have gone beyond giving me the title of former Nsukka. Nsukka town, the 9 autonomous communities, has a town hall, and that town hall is named after me.
Wow.
Samuel MADUKA ONYISHI Nsukka Civic Center.
Wow.
And then in that single hall, that is what town has in common. They have my statue placed there, strategically located in that place. And my father was not a traditional ruler in the town, and I was nobody. But you see, the people, they know their children. It's not because I have money, no. It's not because I give more money, no. But there is something I believe that they saw, which is not me that's going to tell you. So until you see somebody from Sukata, you ask them, why did you so bless this your son? Because there are things I can't tell you now on air. There
It's
are things
okay.
I can't tell you.
I I know,
But I
I know.
know that
I'm just
I know
giving.
it, I know it was done on merit by God's grace.
Yes, no, I know it is perfectly on merit, and that's
Yeah.
why the reason why I don't just and just for the benefit of so many people, we don't just our station. We don't just go and bring people and sing their praises, and this is not a
Mm.
promotion. Dr. Maduka never contacted me. He didn't even know what was going to be the content of the interview. He's not paying me. It's not an advert or whatever. It is because of what I have come to see in you. Incidentally, I grew up in Nsukka right from the 70s. In fact, I consider myself Nsukka as my second home. So, and I was there incidentally when those your first two buses was plying the road from Nsukka, that Nsukka road. So I am some by my testimony. I saw you grow from 2 to 3 to 10 to 15 to 20 to a point where every young man in Nsukka that time who owned a driver's license, who could drive, if he didn't have a job, he got a Peace Mass Transit was waiting for them. As long as you were ready and you would abide by their rules, you got a job. So I know that your company swept a lot of unemployed people out of the jobless market, So I don't need to be told about your philanthropy and what you have done. Now, you made me understand, but before we go into that, what is it? What advice will you give to people? What do you think is the what do you think is the foundation for your success? What is that one thing that you think is responsible for the success you have seen in life, in your business, and in so many things you've done?
Well, number one is that because my father died early, I was moved. I was forced by my circumstance to work hard to earn money to support my mother, to take care of my younger ones and myself. So I'm a child of necessity. I'm a product of necessity. It's not like I wanted to be a business person. No. If my father was alive, maybe I would have ended up being a lawyer because when I was in primary school, all I wanted to read was to read law. In fact, today I think I would have been a senior advocate, top one indeed. But God has his own plan. My father died, everything changed. And when I finished my secondary school, I had to join business. I was out of school for 13 years. And after making money, I now had to go back to school.
Wow.
So the first thing that made me what I am today is the death of my father and the zeal to serve my mother, take care of the family. Then number two is that in my life as a business person, when I was selling secondhand clothes, when I was a bus conductor, because I still remember my boss when I was a bus conductor. He sacked a lot of conductors when I joined them, because I joined was much more than what others were given before I came. And that was why it didn't take time before I learned how to drive and I became a driver. And then later I joined a construction company in Kaduna State. Our company built the Ikara Dam, and then the University of Nigeria paid our family for cash crops because we owned the university land. My mother got 1,200 naira, and she believed in me, and she gave me the 1,200. That was what I used to start business. I used that money to start second-hand clothes business, from second-hand clothes to new clothes, from new clothes to shoes, from shoes to motor spare parts in 1989. And in 1989, I saved 12,000, which I used to join to enter motor spare parts. I learned that business 24 days. I learned motor spare parts business 24 days. 24 days.
Hmm.
I learned 24 days. Yeah, because I had people eating on my head, so there was no time to waste. I went to my boss place. Under 24 days, I copied everything. I crammed everything in the shop, and I started my own because my house rent was waiting, my shop rent was waiting, my clothes business was no longer because I had sold off, so I had mopped up most of the money, so I had to act quickly. And then when I started those papers business, God opened my doors. Between 1989 and 1994, I was able to make up to 260,000 naira, which I used to buy the two buses that I used to start Christmas transit. So this been from one level to another, from one level to another. And between 1994 to 2008, God helped me. I was able to save more money and then start other businesses. So in the past 10, 12 years, I've done much more than you can see, because the thing in transport is that transport is a domineering business. So it dominates everything you do because it has name. That's what people can see. And then honesty is very important in business. Integrity. When you do business with people today, tomorrow they want to do business with you again. But when people come to your shop and you sell fake to them, tomorrow you can cheat them today, you can cheat them tomorrow, but you cannot cheat them for a long time. And once they know that you are not what you, they will leave you and they will tell others that you're not a nice person. And that's the beginning of your end. Your name. If customers know you as a bad person, you are finished. You are finished. So as you run business, things people do not know, God knows. And God is a reward of righteousness. So faithfulness, God the reward. So just work hard. I think I'm a product of hard work. And for me, there's no dull moment. I am focused. I am not a very social person. And like I said, transport is domineering. So you put everything into transport. It's like people who have a hospital, medical doctors that own private hospitals. They don't do anything apart from being in the hospital. In the night, you're not even sure you're going to sleep because when they call you there's an emergency, you must rush to the hospital. That's the kind of life that transfers live. So it is very, very hectic. It's very, very stressful. But there is joy in running transport. In fact, I don't think I can do another business better than transport. It gives me joy to see myself serve people. People queue, enter a vehicle, take them to where they're going. Once in a while, there's a problem, like road mishap, road crash, and the rest of them. But what is important is that bad days are minimal. They are very, very minimal. God has been very, very faithful.
In fact,
So,
sorry, yeah, but actually, now that you talked about um, things that don't, it's not every time that it works well in business. And for your own business, I know there's a lot of mishaps that comes to the business sometimes. I have been a victim of that too, but that is not what this program is all about. And but yes, you're right. There are some times when these things happen, and but I mean, you are not the one driving the vehicles. You are not the one instructing the bad drivers to be bad. It's a business, and when things like that happen, you have to deal with it. So yes, thank you for acknowledging that sometimes things happen that are not. It's not your wish that they happen. That is what comes with the business. I actually lost someone in one of those mishaps. There was something you said in the past when we were talking. You zeroed in on what happens to businesses with Africans, with Nigerians, with Igbo people, where you have someone doing very well in business, but then they die and the business dies with them. And you say it is because they don't bring up their children. I want you to talk about that and then talk about your present focus, which is to be able to build an institution where our people are trained so that whatever business they grew up seeing in their family, they are able to take that business, sustain it, and not allow it to die. Can you talk about that to us, because that's very very
Yeah.
important.
Yeah. You said you lost somebody, and I'm very, very sorry. I am the chief executive of the company, so I take responsibility for everything that has ever gone wrong in the course of running that business. Yeah.
I actually lost a younger brother. You won't believe it.
Wow. Very
But
unfortunate.
you see how
Yeah,
life is.
yeah, very unfortunate. Very
Yeah, yeah.
unfortunate. I'm very sorry.
No problem.
We apologize. In our business, we look at every accident, every crash as peculiar. We don't try to see, because if you look at the number of people that will move, the number of people who move in every day, you see reason why you should thank God, because if you are moving about 18,000 persons, you're moving about 18,000 persons, and then you think that once in a while something is wrong, and you are complaining, that's saying that God has not done well, then you are being ungrateful. God has done so well for us.
Yeah.
In fact, we're not qualified to be doing what we are doing, but God in His mercy decided to use us. So we're just messengers, And in the course of doing that, whatever comes, we bear it, and then we'll move on, and we'll keep trying to improve. The most important is to keep on creating the drivers, keep on advancing, using technology to advance the course of the business. And then as we do that, we continue to upgrade, and also those things that will create a problem for us, we try to stay away from them, making sure the vehicles are roadworthy. There are so many reasons. It can be mechanical, it can be, so all these things we try to cancel them out, so that the fewer they are, the more safety the vehicle is. If you are running transport and your safety is not your priority, then you are not building a business that will last for a long time.
Yeah.
And for us, we are not 100-meter dash sprinters. We are marathon racers. We have done business for 35 years, and then we think we're just starting. The glory of God. For 37 years now, I've done business for 37 years, just immediately after my secondary school.
Wow.
And